Part 2. Into Action. The 7 Support Activities. Structure. As a company grows, the organization becomes increasingly difficult to manage. As a rule, the maximum number of people any manager should have reporting to him is around 7. If a manager has any more than this, it quickly becomes more than she can control, and she is not able to manage effectively. The same holds true for an LSP, especially if a manager has to manage remote employees in different time zones. Figure 13, an LSP's structure by location. Example shows an LSP structured by location with senior management overseeing shared services, APAC clients, American clients, European clients, and Middle Eastern and African clients. You have probably noticed a theme by now that there are really not any set of formulas that apply to all LSPs in the industry. This holds true when defining a reporting structure for your company, too. How your company is structured will depend very much on your specific situation. This is not to say that an organization's structure and hierarchy should be arbitrary or that it is not important. It is critical to define an organizational structure that enables you to add the most possible value through your core functions. The primary way that you can better enable your core functions is by creating an organizational structure that best allows you to take advantage of economies of scale as you grow your business. One of the key factors to help you determine how to organize your company will be the types of your customers and how you deliver services to those customers. Your organizational structure needs to support your delivery model to allow for the best, most efficient services to meet your clients' needs. Here is where a close examination of the market influencers for your specific niche can provide excellent insight into how you can structure your teams. Figure 14, an LSP's structure by vertical. This shows senior management with the structures reporting into them, defined as shared services, technology clients, life sciences clients, entertainment clients, and manufacturing clients. Are you managing a highly automated transactional process with a very high volume? Because of the nature of the automations taking place, you can likely operate with far fewer project managers, which means you will need fewer managers to oversee them. This may also mean that internal costs are less of a concern, and you can afford to have teams centralized rather than offshoring work to lower-cost locations and choosing to send only translation work to linguists offshore. Or perhaps your customers are such that they send steady and predictable volumes of work, but demand a more personal touch with their project management support and linguist on demand during business hours. In this case, you will need more and better project managers, and you may also consider having an in-house linguist model in order to maintain tighter control over your translation teams. Figure 15, an LSP structure by process. This example shows senior management with the departments reporting into them as shared services, translation clients, desktop publishing clients, copywriting clients, and multimedia clients. For all LSPs, but especially larger MLSPs, it is important to look at where there may be economies of scale to leverage by combining teams working on similar clients. This could mean that you consolidate clients into different teams based on any number of factors. It could be that a specialized team manages all clients using a certain process or buying a specific service. By grouping these into a single division, you can ensure that expertise about the process is cultivated. Or you could define team specializations around managing market verticals. This could be a good decision for verticals where a lot of expertise or special certifications are needed, such as for life sciences projects or government contracts. Note an important distinction we made here, that it is important to group experience needed to manage different clients or types of work, not to translate those types of work. Remember that an LSP is not a translation company, it is a services company. If your company wins a contract to manage translation of large pharmaceutical legal contracts for a government agency, you are going to be using the same translators as your competitor would if they had won the contract instead. The value that you add is through managing this process. So what is important for your purposes is the institutional knowledge about the process for managing such work. Grouping work together that is not similar to manage will not lead to economies of scale, but if certain clients or verticals require specialized skills to manage the translation process, then it makes sense to consolidate these groups so as to take advantage of these economies of scale. Frequently, A company's structure doesn't seem to make much sense at first glance. This is not necessarily because of any mistakes that the company has made, but rather it is usually just the way that the company has evolved over time as their business grew. For example, everything else being equal, there is no need to have separate business units for clients in the manufacturing industry versus clients in the technology industry. Surely, different translators should be employed for each of these, but from a project management perspective, the process is pretty much the same. If there are not different tools, credentials, such as government security clearance or ISO certification, or project management skills needed, it probably doesn't need to be organized into a separate unit.